I had one that tank was 5 foot in the air. It was cool. So just a tube that come down.
Yep.
Yeah.
You have to flush it like
Yeah, it was
this.
a chain, a pole.
This is back when you were just out of high school and those were...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometime like that.
Welcome to Unclogged Conversations. Hi, this is Unclogged Conversations. My name is Levi. I'm here with Chris and Darrell from Superior Drain Solutions, and we're actually getting a little bit of traction on the show. We're not getting snide comments right now, which is
That's good.
Maybe good or bad. I'd rather people just troll us and be really upset, but that's fun. But what I was thinking about today, do you have any jobs, by the way? What good things happened? What drains were cleared this week?
We had one trailer park. The sewer line came out above ground from under the house, and it was underneath stairs, and then 90 down into the ground, and it was all frozen.
Ooh.
Yeah. So we had to do that one trick where the guy had the chisel. We had to chisel out the ice and enough room to get the jetter in there to jet it out and bust up the ice and melt it and get it flowing again.
Do you have to use like a flamethrower then? You said melt it.
No, the jetter head, it runs through the jetter, so it's kind of warmish water coming out and blasting out
Just
the
the pressure.
jetter head.
Just the pressure.
Plus it's friction, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be hot water to thaw because you're putting, high pressure water against it. So
That's true. I mean, it's warmer than frozen water.
Warmer than
Right.
frozen.
So it doesn't have to be boiled.
Yep.
When I first moved here, so I grew up in Hawaii, right? So that was, I'm an island guy. You can tell by all the spots. You guys have spots too, but, skin cancer things, right? From growing up in Hawaii. Well, anyway, this is the first time I ever moved and lived in a cold place when I moved here. And I remember the first time it snowed, which I would not consider a snowfall today, now that I live here. The first time it snowed.
dusting.
Dusting, right? So I went out, preheated my car. I spent like an hour cleaning it off because I didn't think there should be any snow on the car, right? It was just like a little flake here or there. And then I literally, I did that for my wife so she could drive it. And then I put on like a snowsuit to walk to school because I was going to school at Syracuse University. I was right there on East Genesee Street, and I had to walk up to the Syracuse campus. And I show up to school, and everybody's still in like
Shorts and t-shirts.
sweatshirt, for the most part. And I'm like in a snowsuit, and that was so
a memorable moment.
But no, what I was thinking about is I remember trying to defrost the car and pouring hot water, going in the house, and I know.
That's not good.
I know it's not good. I didn't break anything, and I learned, So, but there you go. There you go. I like self-deprecating humor, and I'm easy to self-deprecate. Restaurants. I wanted to talk today about restaurants, and we've talked about grease and things in the drains and stuff like that. Are restaurants notoriously bad drains? I mean, it's got to be, right?
Some worse than others, depending on what they cook. Don't want to
No, yeah.
get
go
into
on.
great
Anybody
detail.
out? And then,
Single anybody out. That's
Yeah.
a good. That's a good phrase.
You're gonna say if they cook. Well, I was trying to think of if they cook. What would be a local restaurant if they cook chicken fingers?
Sure.
When the Tuckers
Anything
is known
with
for
lots
chicken
of
fingers.
oil.
Right.
But
No,
there,
but-
again, some of the if it's a chain restaurant, you might find that some are better than others with maintenance and cleanliness and
Are you
keeping the drains clean or be preventative before a backup or try to be.
Let's run through the list. Mexican restaurants, bad or good drains?
I don't feel like we get a whole lot of calls for that.
Okay, all right. So there you go. Mexican restaurants pretty good. Core, like a salad, type of restaurant.
Core like Life
Like
Eatery.
Core Life, right? That's got to be pretty clean drains. Well, they got roughage going through their drains, right?
I find not food so much, but like Starbucks chain
Well,
because all the ingredients that they use for their
Sugar.
sugars,
It's basically caramel, right?
Right. They're all their different syrups or what syrup would be, that they use is bad for
a drain.
bad for a drain
I was
because they congeal. I mean, all that stuff is just.
I didn't think about that. So like the pumps, if you're going into Starbucks and you're gonna order pumps, that's what it's known for, right? You're gonna go.
I don't know. I never order a Starbucks.
Do you drink coffee?
I do.
Black.
No, cream and sugar.
Yeah, but coffee. Are you a pump guy or
a little caramel.
no caramel?
Yeah,
Right. How many
little
pumps?
mocha. Just one or two of each.
That's the thing. You go into Starbucks, and I say Starbucks, it could be any whatever, and like people are getting like basically milkshakes in the form of coffee.
Yeah,
I-
this much
four
coffee
pumps
and-
of 4 pumps of this and 4 pumps of that, and though you're saying that congeals.
Yeah, it's solidifies kind of. I like making my own coffee because then I know it.
That's right. I just do the Senka or whatever. Yeah, I'm pretty easy. So Starbucks, we've got on the spectrum. Mexican restaurants not so bad. That's good news for Mexican restaurants. I mean, whatever. And then we've got Starbucks congealing. I would assume like anything with a fryer has got to be really bad.
Well, the fryer.
I know they're not pouring the grease down the drain, but there's grease
They all
in
have
the
grease
air.
traps.
Right.
And the grease is in the air.
So the fryer grease is separate of the grease trap. So they have a bin for the fryer grease when they clean.
Right.
So the frying is not, maybe it's I wouldn't say misconception, but there's grease in the air is not going to make your drains plug.
I don't know if you walked into a McDonald's, like there's grease on the floor. Like it's so slippery.
Oh yeah.
And then they're just like mopping it and pushing that right down in. That's got to slowly. We're saying grease in the air, but we're talking about grease in the environment. That's got to make its way into the drains, right?
And on the equipment and stuff that they're washing, utensils and stuff, it's going down the sanitary line.
Oh, yeah, that's right. So when they go into the wash, yeah. So if they're washing the fryer rack and they don't get enough grease off of it before they put it into the dishwasher.
Yeah, I mean, all
If
that's a
they wash them.
cumulative thing, that's all maintenance. I mean, like I said, some companies are better at maintaining a maintenance program than others. So,
Well, so what do you think would be the worst thing? What type of, is it a pizza place? What kind of
come on, you guess.
Me? I'm going to guess. What would cause the worst? You say congealing. What also has like a lot of,
And it doesn't even necessarily mean it's the
sauces.
food, but it's just the. Go ahead, tell him, Darrell.
Sweet and sour sauce.
a Chinese.
There you go.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, that's good.
We get a lot of calls for that.
Yeah, okay, yeah, but that's so good too. Those are my favorite. My wife says, it's a real and official American town if it has a Chinese restaurant and a pizza place, because you can find Chinese places in the small. There's a Chinese place out in Mooresville.
Yeah.
There's like everywhere you go, there's like a Chinese place. It's all the same menu, and I wonder, we should do some like research on this. I wonder if like basically they're all working off the same like company. Like one company is the supplier to all the Chinese restaurants.
You see the trucks that they come in. They're from. I'm sure they're coming from New York City or somewhere where they're a big box truck with has the Chinese writing on the side.
As long as
their
it's got,
cab.
as long as it's got the beef broccoli on the truck, I'm pretty good. What do you get when you go to Chinese restaurants?
Oh, I use the sweet and sour chicken, beef and broccoli, egg rolls, white rice. I don't like fried rice.
I don't like it either.
White
But yeah,
dumplings, crab
I
and
haven't been to a
noodles.
Chinese restaurant. I used to like to go to the buffet, but I haven't been in years.
I stopped going to buffets a long time ago.
Eat too much.
Well, I also just like,
But then you're hungry an hour later.
okay, I'm Uber driver. Let me tell you something. I definitely 100% judge all the restaurants by the people I take to go work at the restaurant. If they get in my car smelling like they've been cooking all day, but I'm taking them to work, that's already a bad sign.
Sure.
Then if they smell like their wet dog on top of whatever fryer greasy smell they have, that's another negative. And then if they smell like the pot on top of that, the weed that they've been smoking, I am never going to that restaurant. There's a huge list of them, by the way.
I've worked at KFC years ago and saying, you could be in the back there and they're just, that grease is just bubbling and all the things that they use, the spices and herbs. And it's just like, that poor cook has been doing that for 8 hours. It's like, you smell like a chicken when you...
My wife used to work at like a Mexican restaurant. It was Fresno's, but she used to, their fajitas and, they come out sizzling and all that.
Yeah.
Her shoes come home smelling like that all the time. Never came out of her clothes, and I'd be ironing her pants the next morning. I'm like, oh, how many fajitas did you sell yesterday? She's like, a whole bunch.
Whole bunch. And it's not I think at some level it's okay to obviously smell because it's our work, right? But I feel like you should be going into the restaurant fresh.
Clean slate.
Fresh. If you're coming out, hey, you know what? If they're coming out and they worked really hard, hey, God bless them. I'm gonna, but I don't judge them that way. But
my oldest is 22, and he comes to our house to do laundry maybe every 4 or 5 weeks, and I know he doesn't have 4 or 5 weeks of work clothes. So I don't know what he's doing, what he's going into work smelling like. I can only imagine.
Well, as you are fully aware, my son sits right out that door. And I don't think he is, I'm positive my wife does his laundry every day and cooks his meals every day. And he's got a good life. Good life. All right. So back to our spectrum here. Mexican restaurants, we haven't had that many. It doesn't mean they don't have clogged drains.
Sure.
So if you have a Mexican restaurant, you should give us a call just in case.
Yeah.
And then as we're starting to move up though, Starbucks, it's the congealing of the sugars and pumps of whatever. They're just pumping it right down the drain. And then peak would be a Chinese restaurant.
From our
And it's
perspective.
Yeah. I mean, well, it's a pretty educated. Well, this is why it's important is because, people that own these restaurants should be there should be a level of maintenance, right?
Sure.
So hypothetically,
Preventative maintenance.
right? So what I'm guessing is like if you have a restaurant you've done a really good job of cleaning things, you don't have a lot of greasy type of food. Again, you're just chopping up salads and throw them into a bowl, making that up here, but whatever. That restaurant probably, I don't know, every 2 or 3 years, maybe just has somebody come out and take a look at your drains. If you're running, a pretty old building, old Chinese restaurant, every 6 months, have our team come out and just snake it for you real quick. And I'm making up those numbers. I don't know what's the right preventative maintenance based upon
Depends on how old the system is, I would say. If it's a pretty new plumbing system and PVC and plastic, then you can go a little bit in between. But
what's a little bit in between?
It varies. I mean, everybody has a different degree of the amount stuff that might go down a drain, depending on your.
Well, how would you estimate a preventative maintenance program then?
Most will have their grease trap pumped, but as far as a drain maintenance program,
for a restaurant, yeah,
it doesn't. I don't even know if we have any anything set up with restaurants as far as a maintenance. One of our clients that we do, grocery store chain, won't say anymore, but we do a preventative, once a year on some drains.
Right.
But other than that, as far as restaurants, grease trap pumping is typically a interval. County wants to see it quarterly,
right.
Typically. but other than that, I mean, unless they're having a problem, a lot of times they don't.
But it would seem to me like, let's just say we get out there and again, they spend $1,000 a year on drain cleaning, just making up some numbers here for whatever here. Their restaurant shutting down for a day is going to cost them a lot more than
Absolutely.
that. Right. And if their restaurant has that type of either sugary congealing type of substance or some sort of greasy type of substance that they're working with they're in an older building, it almost behooves them to have us come out and just say, hey, we'll just take a look and give you an idea of like, hey, every 6 months or every year, you should probably just have somebody come out and just, right? But I know we don't have a lot of restaurants that do that, but that would be pretty sad.
In an ideal world, right?
That's ideal.
But, everybody works on a budget. So, that is typically probably at the low end of their thought process to
I think we're a very reactive society as opposed to being proactive. Why spend the money if we don't need to? But, should you need to, it's going to probably cost you more than what you would have been spending proactively, but that's how people think.
Yeah, well, we're here to change hearts and minds.
Yeah.
We're trying to win people
Right.
over here.
Yeah.
I was trying to close some Chinese restaurant, Chris. I was trying to get you on some contracts, but if you don't want them,
Well, you come work with me when I'm doing a Chinese restaurant, and you'll see how.
Well, okay. I don't know if you were there, Darrell. I do you remember I was on the site and the water backed up and splashed at you, and I laughed, and you got really mad.
I did. I wouldn't get mad.
It was at the airport. It was at the airport, and you were training somebody, and they turned the jetter on before the jetter was down the drain. It went,
Oh,
psh, it splashed everywhere, and I was filming, and I had a good laugh, and you said that wasn't very funny, but probably did. But
probably wasn't.
well, it wasn't funny to
me.
you.
Yeah.
It wasn't
It
funny.
just depends on what was in that drain.
All right.
Well, if it wasn't in the drain, that can be dangerous.
That's true. Yeah, it could be. Yeah. Okay. Well, what? We let's pretend for a second here. We can go anywhere we want to this weekend for dinner. We live here in Syracuse, Morrisville. I don't know where do you live?
Right in Cicero.
Cicero here. Oh, so you're like right here, close by. Okay. I'm out in Casanova. Where would you go? No budget for lunch, dinner, whatever this weekend. Like you like, I gotta go there. Like, what's a local favorite place that you just love to go? Go ahead, what, Darrell?
I was thinking the casino. I go to Turning Stone, hit some buffets or something, and maybe hit some slot machines.
The Turning Stone.
Yeah, we don't get out there much. Oh no,
Yeah.
but we always have a good time when we go out there.
They have like that all you can eat buffet, right?
Yeah,
What's the price on that? Like $80, $90, something like that now?
I don't know. Probably for dinner, I would think they'd got it cheaper. I have a cheaper one for lunch, $30-$40
Yeah.
for a lunch buffet.
I went to Vegas. Have you been to Vegas buffets?
Yeah,
Yeah. When was the last time you were in Vegas?
August of 18.
August of
I
18.
think some friends of ours got married, 17 or 18.
Yeah. I was in Vegas, just like 97.
Okay.
And I've been there since then, but in 97, I literally went to Vegas with $200 in cash. That was it. And that was for gambling, eating, and everything for 5 days, 4 nights. And it lasted me because they had those all you can eat buffets for like $5. You know,
Pack it in.
and then you get free drinks as long as you're sitting there gambling. They get free drinks, and those were good times. Yeah, see. It's funny you mentioned buffets earlier, like a Chinese food buffet, Golden Corral buffet.
Corral.
Nope, I'm never going to those places again. Just there's too many people in close proximity to my food. Yeah, you're right.
We used to love Ponderosa. We grew up on Ponderosa.
Yeah,
That was fantastic.
Yeah, that was a good place to eat.
but you're right. The Turning Stone buffet is really good. Now, hell, I do like that place. That's a good place to play some golf too.
Sure.
What about you? Okay. This weekend, unlimited budget. You can go anywhere, pretty much in Syracuse, though. I mean, or whatever, the greater Syracuse region for food. Where are you going?
Texas Roadhouse, maybe.
Oh, yeah. What kind of steak do you get? You ribeye?
What kind of? You betcha.
Yeah. Do you do the bone in or bone out? They got that one, like the tomahawk.
Yeah, the tomahawk. That's what I. Either or. I mean, I don't care. I mean, but the ribeye is the. That's the medium rare.
Medium rare? Do you put like, are you an
Steak
A1?
sauce?
Do you
No,
an
no,
you're not an
no.
A1?
Salt and pepper.
Salt and pepper. Butter. Garlic, right?
I could go without anything but salt and pepper.
Yeah, those are gut busters, man. I love those. Yeah. Where would I go? I was stalling because I was trying to think, where would I go? I'm not a big. Again, I'm just really jaded now that I've taken so many people to in my Uber to work. Places that I would go. Where do I like to go? I like simple food. I like scrambled eggs and stuff like that. So I like diners. Diners are
Yeah, a
so
diner, a
good.
small diner, or just your local.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are. Some of our all by us. Some of the best food fish fry on a Friday night. Some of the best fish you find
Yes.
is at those hole in the wall.
Yeah, and that's my favorite. So I was trying to think, where would I go this weekend if I could go out to eat? Well, first of all, my wife and I go to different places, so we're not going together. That's for sure. Because wherever she wants to go, it's like some sort of vegetable something. I'm not going there. I think Texas. Where else? Delmonico's. I like Delmonico's.
I haven't been to Delmonico's in a long time.
Yeah, I like a good steak. I like Turning Stone. You know what I really I could do it anytime I want. Just I like Chipotle or Chick-fil-A. I definitely I know.
No thanks.
Chick-fil-A, shout out. We're looking for sponsors. You don't like Chick-fil-A? Why not?
I'm not impressed.
Wait.
Because the one blew up right by my house on Route 11, and
You hate that?
it was just for 6 months you couldn't get anywhere. I was trying to get into Home Depot to get supplies for work, and I couldn't get in there because Chick-fil-A was backed up all the way around the corner.
You got to go the back way into Chick-fil-A. You got to go through the Wegmans parking lot. And
Well, that's how I'd get to Home Depot. But
yeah. Wait. Is it so? You're upset that people liked it? What? It's traffic.
it's too much.
Well, if you're going to have something like that come in, don't put it in a plaza where you have
Next to a Starbucks,
three other businesses.
in front of two very busy businesses.
Hey, Jimmer, the guy that owns it, is a big Buffalo Bills guy.
Yes, I see his van all the time.
All right. I was there
Bills
today.
Mafia.
As you can tell, I was there today at the Chick-fil-A. And so I'm stalling because I want to come here and work out here. I didn't want to. So I was working on the Chick-fil-A. Yes, no, I was in there. And there was like an incident, like a TikTok viral video incident. There's like a lady in the drive-through line, and then the cops showed up. And then she was like telling them, what's your badge number? And it was like one of those, And then, so the cops came inside the restaurant, and I'm sitting down watching. And then she parks, and she comes in the restaurant. And the cops are behind the counter. And I'm like, trying to watch what's going on. But the Chick-fil-A like French fries are so good. You don't like
Regular or waffle?
the waffle?
I like the waffle.
I don't think they have regular French fries.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
At our.
Yeah, Chipotle. Yeah, those are. Yeah,
My wife likes Chipotle.
yeah.
She used to like Panda Express too, but that didn't last long over by us.
My favorite place. Okay, so I'm still thinking about food. I would go to Peter Spoon in Casanova. It's a little coffee shop. I love that.
I've done work. I used to work in there.
Oh yeah, Patton. I go there almost every weekend. Yeah, that's my hangout. Yeah, I like to go there a lot. And I'll wait in line for 30 minutes for a cup of coffee, and then there's no seats, and it's the smallest little place. Especially if Colgate has like student weekend or parent weekend. The whole world shuts down for parent weekend at Colgate. I don't know if it's the same with Morrisville. Okay, I say
Not so much.
Pretty just drive through Morrisville.
Yeah.
Yeah. No stuffing. That's the good part about Morrisville. All right. Well, all right. So next week, right, I'm seeing a bunch of cities up there. See what it says current.
Yep.
I'm looking at those. I want to start talking about those places. So start thinking about those places, what you like about them, what you dislike. I can tell you what I dislike about Rome, like a stupid amount of snow. I was just up there a couple of days ago in Rome, had like caverns of snow. But yeah, we're going to talk about those places next week. So that's it. Any other thoughts for this week? We need Jessica here, don't we?
Yeah.
Jessica, we need you to make this work.
Yeah. No.
Come on, Jessica. Let's go.
Hi.
Get up out of bed. Let's go.
Chris interprets reenacting or acting like Jessica. That was good. All right, guys. That was it.
Thanks, Levi.
End of the show.
Thank you.